Welcome to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. So I wish we got into this a little earlier in the month, but the month has been kind of crazy. A lot of different things have happened. But we got to talk about these August releases. And it has been one of the more heavier launch months that we've had all year. It would literally rival what we had in July. Was it July? No, July was kind of like actually it was to start the year in February, right around All Star Weekend. We always know that All Star Weekend is crazy, and that month is definitely heavy. But this is one of the other fire months. In part, kids got to go back to school, so they want to bless them with some heat. Now, we all know some kids do need a black shoe or all black shoe to go back to school, so that doesn't fall in the category. But for sneaker lovers, sneaker friends, I'm going to call my fan base from now on the sneaker side from now on, hip hop and sneaker friends. I think that's the most politically correct, but it feels like the community that we're creating with this podcast, and we're like almost at 275 episodes now. So thank you to everyone that has listened over the time that have been recording this year and beyond. And maybe we're coming up on 250. It's not 275. Coming up on 250. My apologies, but I consider you all as friends that we connect, friends that we talk about music or hip hop or sports. And that's kind of the basis of this whole podcast. Sneaks, Rhymes, that's what you get most of your content on, but we're coming up on the NFL season. It is August, so the NFL is back in training camp. We just had the second preseason game. My Commanders didn't look too good after we took out the starters, but it is neither here nor there. The season is coming, and that's something to get excited a lot about. There's a lot of hope, a lot of wishes, and the NFL is full of parity. So who knows how this season is gonna go? But August releases for my sneaker friends. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So, man, did the month ever start unbelievably well? So we started with the Steel Jordan 10. Hasn't been out in several years. It came with the toe cap. There was like a little cap. If I show you on this Shattered Backboard, there's a little cap that was on the toe box, and that made the shoe a little bit different. Some of the ones that have come out, I think the 2005 or 6 that came out when I was a store manager at Foot Locker, it looks definitely a little bit different than this one, but limited stores, in Toronto, Capsule, Livestock was definitely on sneakers. If you hit the sneakers app, limited Foot Lockers in the US. Kith definitely had their share, but sold out. People wanted Jordan 10s. But maybe this is a sign of the model after I talk about this other shoe. So the other one that launched on the 2nd to really get this month started, and it was during Toronto's Caravana weekend, so that's kind of one of the reasons that we didn't get this pod out when we normally get stuff out. When we talk about sneakers, we're at 20th of the month, and you guys go get this one today. But it was the Undefeated 4. So for those that don't know, this is the 20th anniversary of the Undefeated 4. The first pair or first collection had the Jumpman logo on the back. Came out in 2005. It was the first ever collaboration that the Jordan brand had, and it was in partnership with this third-party sneaker boutique called Undefeated. It is unbelievable. Some of the quality of the product that Undefeated makes is second to none. But with the Undefeated 4, it came with a whole new level of exclusivity. And all right, exclusivity, is the word. 72 pairs. That's all we got in this shoe. It was sold exclusively through Undefeated in their LA store in 95. They got a special flight case that went along with it, along with dog tags. So this one is crazy special. Retail value, was about $200, or maybe it was $190 at the time US. Resale value, 25 to 100 bands, K dollars. 25,000 at a minimum this shoe is worth. This solidified, Undefeated space in the sneaker community. It influenced so many other collaborations to come with so many other brands, bringing people in to collaborate with. Think of what we got with Off-White only, it was like 12 years later. Remember when we had the Jumpman store, but it spawned the 10 and so many other things. But there are some samples, and there were some samples of different color. They ultimately landed on green. There is a white pair even, but they were never ever released. So fast forward 2025, in the greatest release year we've ever seen, the 40th anniversary of the Jordan brand. And maybe, who knows, I started to think, as I just said, that what happens in 2030 when we're at the year 45, the comeback. Maybe this will be the spawn. If Jordan fades, it will come back in 2030 and it will mean something. So very interesting, as I just had this Nostradamus, or Nostradamus, as I love Nas, epiphany that maybe the Jordan brand is going to slide and have this massive resurgence 5 years from now. But neither here nor there. So it is out, and it came out, again, very limited way. Where could you get it? Only through Undefeated. There were several raffles. Now, it may sneak onto the sneakers app. Rumor has it, or at least some of the information I have, the 28th will be the last day that it will be released one more time this month, and maybe through Sneakers in a limited way, and again through Undefeated, but that's it. So people, when I think we saw the lineup, including myself, if there was one shoe you were going to get, if there was one shoe that was going to be the shoe of shoe, now we still have metallics. We got Brick by Brick. Brick by Brick is probably the leader, but it's probably the Undefeated 4 and the Tokyo 5. Those are the ones in another stratosphere when we talk about sneakers. So it is very limited, and I'm going to tell you, I do not know one person that got their hands on it. Now, I've seen them selling for $1,000 on GOAT, and that's Canadian. Definitely seeing them on eBay. Now, some people think eBay is suspect. High fives, low sixes, so 400 US plus in my size. In some other sizes 12, even more. 13 is even more than that. So it is a grail. It is one that you just may not get your hands on, and it's the one that you didn't get. But that's the Undefeated 4. Honestly, at this point for me, it's the shoe of the year. Now, the rollout of a shoe is definitely still the Brick by Brick 4. So, like it or not, like Jordans or not, there has not been a better release than the Brick by Brick 4, in collaboration. As I said, this spawned even this collaboration with BMX rider Nigel Sylvester. So as we move forward, on the 4th, we got the Book One Night. So still rolling out some books. It's a good shoe, whether you like to ball or you like to put it on and wear it in the streets. Now, this is the interesting one, the Jaw 3 Light Shield. So that is white and gray. We got another one coming up later this month. But performance-wise, and I've tried this on, the Jaw brand, and I'm not a fan of the player. With all the gun toking and guns in his videos and online, and his, whether it was on IG Live, just not setting a good example for kids, not setting a good example for his team and his organization. Like, he just got to clean up his act. But his sneaker is phenomenal. Maybe the best traction of any shoe. And I've said this, I literally, walking from in the last year saying the Curry 12, then I said the Kai 1 Speed, and now I'm saying maybe the Jaw 3 is maybe the best traction and one of the best performance shoes. If you're a point guard, I would highly recommend that you wear this shoe between this and the Kai 1 Speed. So Jaw 3, it's probably a shoe, great opportunity to color up. It looks just different than anything out there. This is a shoe that you may need to cop. So also we got on the 7th, we got the KD, another color. Continue to roll these out. This is better than the 17 or the 16. So you look at small forward, they definitely should be looking at some KDs, but there's just a lot of colors and we're out of basketball season. So it was great when they were, we were heading into basketball season or NCAA tournament and we were talking about KD 18 or, we've just come off Global Jam and it's not an Olympic year and the NBA finals were 2 months ago. So, hey, KD's rolling out. KD's rolling to the new year. Great. But again, we got to understand this is a year 18 player. Some people love his shoes. Others could do without. So this is something you got to consider. Next up, Vomero. So Vomero 18 is out. This is one here. Vomero 18. That's very fortunate to get. Thank you, Nike. But Vomero 18 Plus or Vomero Plus is now the elevation of that running shoe silhouette. And it is out of this world in terms of comfort, maybe the most comfortable shoe that's on the marketplace. So lots of colors and reiterations. We move through the rest of summer and into fall. Nike is trying to take a stab and really take reclaim some part of the running market. So check out those. Just tried these on yesterday. So the Giannis Freak 7 Thunder Blue, I tried on one of the other colors. Very good. I was surprised because there's been several Giannis's that have not fit well, and I have just gone away from them. The only thing I didn't like, toe box was too low, so it was rubbing. So there's definitely no way, even gifted, I could not wear this shoe. But cushioning, traction, support, check mark, check mark, check mark. So definitely Giannis for those hoopers looking to hoop in the summer and into the fall. You should be looking at this one. Now we're talking about my jam. Another color, and I have one, Photo Blue, Air Max Up Tempo 95. So we already got the Chicago. We're supposed to get the Lakers by the end of the year. Then we got the Mystic Blue, Mystic Teal, which is the GOAT. That one launched on the 7th, so that was a must cop. I'm still seeing it in stores like Kith. Now they might be smaller sizes, but you need to look at it and how do you get your hands on it. Another one of my joints, Air Max 95, another color, but more of an OG Blue Spark. Maybe the best one outside the neon. So that released on the 8th. Was delayed in a couple locations, but it's out there. You got to hunt for it. Resell is going up on this one. Don't want to slip. On the 8th as well, the A1, again, that for a more general release shoe, that is the best rollout that we've seen all year, is Asia Wilson's A1 line. Absolutely incredible. One of the best basketball shoes on the market. Both pink ones. The blue one, maybe the best of the entire set. In this one, what color was it that we got? The draft pick. So a clean white one. I know the other one, the On Pearl, didn't do as well. This one is fire. We got it one for the All-Star game, which is kind of hit and miss with me. I love it. Some others hate it. There's a green one that's been out. So A1, basketball players alike, you should be hooping in this one. On the 9th, we got that denim morn, kind of like almost textile jean material. I think it's fire. It's not the Levi's. Now, there was a Levi's pack that came out around the same time, so people should have considered jumping on that one as well. There was a white denim, a blue denim, which I still haven't seen anywhere. And then I also saw the black denim. Black one is pretty dope. White, I just worried it would get ruined. But Jordan Brand also did a denim one for women. Now it's like a wash. It looks good. Wish it was endorsed by Levi's. Probably would have driven some additional sales, like the Levi's 4s that we got almost 8-9 years ago. I remember seeing them at the Jordan store. when we had that open here in Toronto. Gazelles, we got a Man U one that came out on the 12th. The 1908 Converse, the Coach Jogger, that released. That's part of the Tyler Creator pack, and that is skyrocketing now in price. Retail was 100. It's like retailing for like 350 US. So that one's a banger. The one I was talking about, max volume in the Jaw 3, that was the next color. So definitely a smash there. And then we got the Nigel Sylvester. Now the dates keep moving around on this one. Some have released already, but we got a collaboration Jordan 1 low, black, white. Not as good as the Nigel one from before several years ago. Again, like 7-8 years ago at Jordan store. I remember we had that one. And it's not even close to the brick by brick, but Nigel 1 low looks rich. It's got the bike emblem on the tongue, so that's one there. Adidas came through with another reiteration of the Dawn 7, and then on the 17th, this one was a hot one. Both the black and blue and then pink ice Air Jordan 5. The New York or New York Awake edition. So retail was $250. I'm seeing these things sell for like $2K. So inventory is extremely limited. You'll be lucky to get your hands on this one. Go back for a second. The 13th, we got the New Balance 204. I think this is going to be a bigger shoe as we move forward with New Balance, but we'll have to see how that rolls out. And then on the 20th, which is today, restock of the triple black and the olive React Rejuvenate. It's kind of been like the unicorn of slides. It may be the best slide or comfy shoe that you can get, but getting one and seeing one online without paying double or triple in retail or seeing this at Nike or Foot Locker or Champs has been incredibly difficult. Tomorrow on the 21st, we got the Dunk Rivalry Pack, which is kind of cool. Red Sox and Yankees, as well as we got an ASICS 930 social status smoke gray. So that should be pretty good. Anytime you do something with social status, normally it means something. This month, we also got the new Climate Cool. So this been, again, the dates have been all over the place. It was supposed to be out earlier. Now it's out now. Seen it in the marketplace. It's like a one-piece upper and midsole and outsole all in one. So you definitely got to give it a try on and see what you think. There is now, it kind of came out already, but the Air Max 95 SB Cactus is definitely out there early. Skate stores had it. More stores are still launching it. A bunch of them will get them out on the 22nd, along with the Adidas Mule. So Adidas has kind of come back with something else other than the Adidas Slide, which is now long gone after the fallout with Kanye West, aka Ye. So think about that one. The new Curry 7 series also is out on the 22nd. And then the big boy. So on the same day, we're also getting the blue suede second version of the Jordan 40. Jordan 40 first color, the classic, sold like crazy, but we're getting the big boy. The big boy has a front seat. He's been here the entire podcast. Many people's grail. The Shattered Backboard 1 finally returns on the 23rd. Now, the date originally was supposed to be late July. Has now been bumped a whole month. But the campaign, they're rolling out an absolute beautiful campaign for the shoe. I posted a couple on Sneaks Rhymes and Life. So again, you can see me on my Instagram, Sneaks_Life_ Sneaks_Rhymes_Life_ podcast. You also can see it on Jumpman 23. So the videos are out there. They've just done some amazing heritage to why this shoe is important. So really think about getting on board with this one. but this one is a special one. This is many people's grail sneaker. It's one of the most iconic and modern day. This wasn't an original retro. This one didn't come out for several years. It didn't come out until 2015. Then on 2016, they did a Shattered Backboard 2 and did the reverse. And then we even got a 3.0 in 2019. So the original release is one of the best quality leathers, and I'm touching it here. It's amazing. The 2015 pair, which I have in front of me, resale brand new pair is $1,000, if you can believe. The 2006 and 7, far more affordable, but still collectible. So if you have one, you probably want the entire set. But what's the story behind it? In short, August 25th, and I think this is part of the reason why it moved. This is the closest Saturday to August 25th. During a Nike exhibition game in Italy, Jordan wore a black, orange, and white uniform. Mid-game, he went up for a dunk that shattered the glass backboard. Image became legendary. Decades later, the Jordan brand honored the moment by designing sneakers by the colors of the uniform that he wore in that game. So that is the history of the Shattered Backboard. It was kind of like an off-white with black and orange. And there's lots of pairs of this. This is kind of, you can see even what I'm wearing. So thank you for watching on YouTube. You also can see this when I post it again on Facebook, but you can also listen to it podcast way wherever you stream your podcasts, including Apple. But I even went with the whole black and orange theme today. Even I got a WNBA bag in the background, black and orange. But this is one of the all-time great sneakers. Now, I haven't yet to hold one of those 2025 pairs, but in comparison, I've seen the GS, and the GS is close to this. This is still maybe the best quality Jordan 1 that's out there, but not a lot of people got their hands on this one. This one is like literally one of one. Now, the new one that you get in 2025 on Saturday is probably close and probably something that you should definitely consider to have in your collection. Now, hey, everyone's saying Jordan 1s are out. You know, we saw a big swing and miss with the Chicagos and how many times they came out. The Black Toes were even worse, that launched earlier this year as a reimagined version. The only one that hit, because they did the original toe box and original toe, was that white black that came out during 2023 All-Star when I was in Salt Lake City. And that was such a great trip. And then the other one was the band / bread that came out earlier this year during All-Star. Again, super limited pairs. No one could get their hands on it. It's like $1,000. So that's something that you really should consider getting into the collection. But who am I to say? If you don't love Jordan 1s, you've moved on to New Balance, you've moved on to Vomero 18s, then so be it. But if you were going to buy a Jordan 1 that is a general release, we already got the probably a top 3 general release this year in the metallic 5s. This would be part of the equation as well in the Shattered Backboard. There's probably one other juicy one. I'm telling you, if you sleep on the Gammas, I don't want to hear it. I copped those. People hated on those, and now everyone wants them. So let's see what happens when we get those. The other one would be Black Cat 4s when those release later this year as well. So Shattered Backboard, it's got to be one you got to consider if you love Jordans specifically. So to wrap up the month, another Diamond Turf. We've had a huge run of the last 12 months over Diamond Turf. One of the OG colorways, but not nearly as popular because it didn't really match the uniform, is the Emerald. We also have a Jordan 5 women's in a green, along with the Jabbar Low Bruce Lee. And that one is cool. That one looks so dope. And I'm not a huge Adidas person, and even the Jabbar sneaker, I don't even have any, but this one looks amazing. Next up, then we got in movie, and we kind of peek into September. We got the Dame 10, We got a Lego dunk coming. Maybe the shoe of the month, Shea 001. So the long-awaited Shea Gilgeous-Alexander Finals MVP, regular season MVP, All-Star, All-NBA, scoring champion, and NBA champion. So like he ran the gauntlet last year. We get the first color of his sneaker. He wore it in the finals. He debuted it earlier this year. I don't think he wore that color, but he's worn other colors. Even had a gold one around his neck when they won the title. This is probably the sneaker of September. We'll do a full episode on that. K4 looks absolutely fire. That comes out on the 4th. We also get the Royal Foams returning. We just had the cough drop earlier this month, and I missed that one on my list for August, but that is one. If you love foams, that's an OG color or close to OG color you definitely should consider. And then, looking ahead, we got another 95. We got the Angel Reese collection, which looks dope. I'm not supporting Reebok, but the collection is dope. So, shout out to those that curated it. But, where Reebok and Puma are with the support of Israel, I am not supporting those brands at all. And then Jordan Brand, we got the Fire Red 5. So thank you for listening. Lots on sneakers. Shattered Backboard, and then can you get your hands on an Undefeated? Those are probably the two shoes for the month. But there's so much, such a great collection that Foot Locker, Champs, Nike have all put together in their different retail spaces. There's so many great things to put together to wear this black and orange shoe. Now, I love black and orange. That's like my favorite color combination. Almost every single one of my teams, until the Commanders changed their colors to some type of orange. That's the only team that I don't have any orange in. And respectfully, we're not changing beyond burgundy and gold. That's our staple. So, but I love black and orange. Flyers, the Knicks have black and orange. Syracuse has orange. So it's just how I roll. And those are my teams, and we've all lined up that way. I'm wearing a San Francisco Giants hat. That's my favorite baseball team, them and the Blue Jays. So black and orange is a theme color for this month. This is the summer. This is the launch of the summer. So as the summer winds down, it's dropped literally 10 degrees Celsius, almost 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Like now we're in the 50s. If we're talking Fahrenheit here in Toronto, summer is literally wrapped, and it's the 20th. So if you're buying a shoe, Shattered Backboard ones. You may not get the same quality as we got back in 2015, but it's the shoe of the summer, and you should seriously consider. And it's Jordan. Now, are Jordans dying? I don't know. We have so many great releases that's sitting on shelves, but I'm gonna leave that for another episode. August release is Undefeated 4 and Shattered Backboard 1. Thank you for listening. Sneaks Around My Life. We out.